fellow humans, this is Franca Borgia from Venice, Italy, and today's video is the first one on the Midlife Success channel, and you will probably want to know who I am, which is totally understandable, but I find the question that I have been asked most frequently most irrelevant. That is, people often ask me when they see me for the first time, where are you from? And believe me, it's really not an important question. It is much more important to understand where I am today, what I am doing today, and what I'm going to do further ahead. So I have done more than 40 relocations. You heard that right, not 4, not 14, but 40. 4, 0. You understand? So I have moved from one place to the other. I have moved from one country to another. I have traveled, different continents, and I am doing many different things. I am an artist, Mudra Yoga master, astrologer, musician, writer, and leadership coach. All these activities share a common factor. They aim to bring clarity and harmony to the world. This is my mission in life. My career as an artist started in my late teens when I studied at the Surikov State Academic Institute of Fine Arts. Московский государственный художественный институт имени Сурикова. I arrived in Moscow in 1992. This art academy provides excellent resources, and there were, at the time when I studied there in the 90s, 4 different departments. There was the Department of the History of Arts, the Department of Sculpture, the Department of Painting, divided into easel painting and monumental painting. Then there was also the Department of Graphics, which is the department that I selected to pursue my studies. Nowadays, when you hear about graphics, you usually think of a computer graphic designer. But this is not at all what I studied when I was in Moscow. In fact, all the techniques that I studied were manual. I studied techniques such as lithography, etchings, and other printing techniques. Can you imagine that in the entire institute there was not a single computer? Not even in the office. They used a typewriter. Even before I started studying in Moscow, I was always fascinated by the idea of a form, a line, or a basic element that could express everything, with no limit of scale. I discovered that a double spiral could be used in this way. Spirals are a common feature in the natural world. From the DNA double helix to Nautilus shells, it is a shape that occurs on different scales, from the microscopic to the cosmic scale. My double spiral element occurs less frequently in nature, but I chose it for its versatility and for its ability to unite 2 opposing parts in a harmonious equilibrium. It is the perfect expression of unity in a single line, formed by two distinct and balanced entities. Unlike the yin and yang symbol, there is no boundary between the two parts. Years ago, at a vernissage, I got into conversation with a psychologist who told me that my double spiral paintings were the perfect visual stimulus to harmonize the connection between the two hemispheres of the brain. The harmonious link between the left and right hemispheres of the brain is an important effect of certain hand postures, such as the well-known greeting or prayer gesture, used in cultures all over the world, in which the two palms of the hands are placed together. My interest in Mudra Yoga was encouraged by my father. My practice of Mudra Yoga, the yoga of the hands, started before I could walk or talk, when I was 1 or 2 years old. Only in my 20s I discovered that what I practiced was in fact a lesser known form of yoga that has existed for millennia. Much later, my father encouraged me to pursue my research into Mudra Yoga and to spread the word. My father was a leading expert in traditional Chinese medicine and was pivotal in popularizing it in the Western world. He devised the English and Latin terminology of Chinese medicine that is now the basis for all practitioners of Chinese medicine outside of China. My father was very creative with language, and I remember when he coined the term the metabolism of the mind. A few months before his passing, my father and I were discussing the ideas he felt he would not have time to develop, such as the metabolism of the mind and the root vocabulary. These new terms were incredibly inspiring to me, and I have written several books in which I explore these ideas in detail, finding ways to apply them to our lives as individuals and as a society. All my books are available on Amazon. Just look for Franca Borgia. Another area which I have studied for decades is astrology. When I was 11 years old, my father introduced me to astrology. In fact, he had accurate astrological knowledge about me before I was even born. Since I was a child, I have used astrological methods to fine-tune my decision-making. And it is now something that I use in my leadership mentoring and life coaching programs. I realized that the knowledge I had gained about the workings of the human mind, human societies, and the universe in its entirety could be applied to everyday life. By everyday, I don't mean just our daily routine, but rather life in all its aspects, from close personal relationships to those with colleagues in the workplace, in communities, in societal contacts, and international affairs. let me tell you how my coaching programs were developed. While doing some research on the internet, I came across an interesting video featuring Bob Proctor. It was a short video, 5 minutes or so, about making decisions. What struck me about it was how much this motivational speaker had in common with my own approach. His passionate emphasis on the importance of goal-oriented, positive and creative thinking. For example, we also agree on the fact that most people are governed by their subconscious programming that controls their habitual behavior. At this point, I would like to specify that all human beings are governed by their subconscious programming. That includes me, for example. But you can be consciously or unconsciously governed by your subconscious programming. What do I mean by that? So the fact that I am aware of my subconscious programming allows me to consciously transform or fine-tune it. On the other hand, if you are not aware of your subconscious programming, it means that you are unconsciously controlled by it. Perhaps you are semi-consciously controlled by it, which means that you are partially aware of it, but not perfectly and completely aware of it, which is almost as if you are unconsciously governed by your subconscious programming. Bob Proctor never made this differentiation, and that's fine. There are some ideas that Bob Proctor has spread for decades, and I was pleased to find that I did not need to explain many things that I needed to explain to many or even most people I knew up to that point in time. I met Bob Proctor in person in July 2018 at one of his live events in Toronto, Canada. I have taken and I am taking his concept of paradigms one step further. The main focus of Bob Proctor's application of the paradigm was to individuals, although he sometimes mentioned that not only every individual, but also every family, every company, every community, and every country has a paradigm. He never took it to the final conclusion, and the final conclusion is that we have a global paradigm. We have a subconscious collective paradigm that governs and controls us as a human collective on a global scale. That's a very fascinating topic, and if you are curious, you can check out my book, The Subconscious Collective Paradigm, available on Amazon in my book series F.A.Q, Making You Think. Stay tuned to my forthcoming podcasts and find out how you can bring clarity and harmony into your own life and the life of the people you interact with. You might have been wondering about this t-shirt that I'm wearing. Can you read it? It says, "When you leverage the laws of the universe, time is always on your inside. I have coined this phrase because when you leverage the laws of the universe, time is always on your side. Up to now, there are 24 different designs available in 4 different colors: black, navy blue, urban khaki and white. You can use these t-shirts winter and summer, spring and autumn. You can wear them all year round. As you see, I have a turtleneck sweater and I'm wearing the t-shirt over the sweater. It's very comfortable. You can find a link to this t-shirt and all the other t-shirts in the description box below this video. If you are interested in my leadership mentoring and life coaching, please use the contact form on my website rarainternational.com. Also, this link you can find in the description box below this video. Dear fellow humans, it is such a pleasure to connect with you. May you truly each and every moment of each and every single day, with each and every single breath you take, confidently move ahead on your path to the most beautiful and most satisfying fulfillment of your biggest dreams and your deepest desires.